Hello everyone, Joey Knight Jr. here for JKJ Culture, and I have no idea what I just watched. Well, I do. I watched Obsession. We are bringing back the out-of-theater movie reviews for those who may have come over from the Joey Knight Jr. channel. I did a few of these videos, but as with like the comic book reviews and them being re-uploaded to this channel, the out-movie theater reviews really didn't fit the Joey Knight Jr. main channel, which they're now going to be over here as part of JKJ Culture. Whenever I decide to go to the movies, I will, if I feel inspired enough to give some type of review for it, whether it's spoiler or spoiler free, I will do so. And Obsession. What did I just watch? So apparently this movie, it was made by a YouTuber, something Curry. I can't remember his first name, but when I looked him up, he didn't look familiar. So I'm definitely going to go watch some of his YouTube work. I saw something that apparently he did comedy, which there were some comedic elements in this movie. More so along the lines of like, you're so uncomfortable that you have no choice but to laugh, because the other feelings you're going to have are just, you don't want to have them. That's all I'm going to try to keep this one spoiler free. Fantastic movie, by the way. Let's see. I'm trying to think if I have seen any other movies this year. And the last movies I did see, did they come out this year? I don't know. I have to look about it and think about it and mention it again next time I do one of these reviews. But wow, Obsession was an amazing movie. Shout outs to the director, shout outs to the actors and actresses that played Ian, Nikki, Bear, and I believe the other girl's name was Sarah. It was a very bone skeleton cast. It mainly focused on the four people that I just mentioned. And obviously the main focus of the movie being Bear and Nikki, because as we've seen through the trailers, Bear makes a wish on this little toy knick-knack thing that, you know, Nikki would love him. And it goes completely south very quickly. I remember we had to read stories one time in high school. It was something about a monkey's paw, I believe what it was. And you made a wish on it, but your wish had, you know, bad side effects to it. So like I remember one of the stories is that a family wished that they, you know, could be wealthy, they could pay off all their bills, yada, yada, yada. And I believe it was their son that died, but they was able to collect money through like life insurance. It's been a long time. Like I said, high school, so good 10 plus years ago for me. You know, I'm dating myself there. Class of 2016, let's go, baby. But so the premise, you know, kind of follow along that line. Not exactly, obviously, but it's its own thing. But that's something that it reminded me of. God, it's sorry, you know, for kind of being all over the place. Just that movie made me feel some things, and it made everyone else that was in the theater feel some things. I'm guessing the word of mouth on this, as you could tell maybe through, if you look at the box office results of this movie and everything else, the word of mouth on it has been pretty good. I used to go to Cinemark a lot on Tuesdays because it's $5 Tuesday and all that other good jazz. I've never seen the Cinemark that packed on a Tuesday, you know, after 8 o'clock. And a great majority of the people that were here tonight were here to watch Obsession. And, you know, obviously Backrooms is out too, and, you know, Mandalorian Grogu and all that other stuff. But a lot of people here tonight. My theater was almost completely full. And that is an experience I have not gotten in a very long time. I have not been in a almost completely full theater since the days of Avengers Endgame. Is honestly the last time I could say that I went to a movie theater and it was completely, like, just about packed out, in my honest experience. But yes, Obsession, as we all know, like I was talking about earlier, Bear and Nikki, it's the main focal point about them. Bear makes the wish and it goes south completely really bad. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep it, you know, spoiler free, because This is one that if you haven't seen it already, and if you're kind of into that, horror, side of things, then you should definitely go watch it. God, man. Just the twists and turns the movie takes you on, especially at the end. The ending of that movie. Like, you think it's going to go one way, and then it changes up and it makes you think it's going to go another way. And then it changes up again and it makes you think it's going to go another way. And then it changes up again and you get the ending of the movie. And, oh my. So, like, just 4 switch-ups alone from within, like, the last 5 or so minutes of the movie. Just complete insanity is all I got to say. I hope I'm selling this movie pretty well to anyone out there who has not seen it. I mean, it's been a couple of weeks, I believe, since it released. So, possibly the majority of the audience who would go see this movie has seen it. But for those out there who are potentially watching this video and have not seen Obsession, to me, it is going to be one of those movies of the year, like movies of the year just for, the horror genre, but potentially like movie of the year, period, like all genres. And I know we have a bunch of heavy hitters that have already come out, and we're going to have heavy hitters later on in the year for the last half of the year. I know that, but Obsession was a really good movie. If I have to give it a score, I will say 8.5 right now, because I'm hovering between 8, or do I give it an 8? Do I give it a 9? So I'm going to give it an 8.5 as of right now, as I sit here today on June 2nd at 10:35 p.m. in my car across the street from the Cinemark parking lot, because I didn't want to record this in a full parking lot with people around. I wanted to find an empty parking lot. I know that sounds kind of strange. Like Obsession, very strange movie. Very awesome movie, though. Very creepy movie, though. Very, like I said, a lot of things in the movie that are going to make you laugh, but not because it's funny, but because you're just so creeped out that you don't know what other emotion to give other than just like, what? That's the kind of element you're going to get with Obsession. And not going to lie, I'm kind of obsessing over this movie, just with how good it was, and the fact that it had an extremely small budget. I believe the budget was about $750,000, and it is well surpassed. Like, it has made money on top of money on top of money, and that is fantastic. That is what I like seeing. Man, this is gonna be one that I definitely, because I am a DVD and Blu-ray collector and getting into the VHS market as well. This is definitely gonna be one that as soon as I see it released on DVD or Blu-ray, I'm getting it, I'm snatching it, and we're going to have a good time. It's going in the collection because it was a fantastic movie. So I feel like I've done all I can do really without spoiling anything in the movie, because it's one of those things where it's a nice thread line for the story throughout, even though, yes, I did say that there's a lot of twists and turns, especially at the end. But it's a nice thread line throughout the whole movie of the story. And I feel like if I start getting the details on some things, then it's just good. We're going to go down the rabbit hole, and it's going to turn into a spoiler review. And I don't want to do that. And I'm looking at my phone right now. And it's like I've rambled for about 9 minutes almost at this point for a movie that I've not given any spoilers on. And I don't know if that's just, me just rambling, or if that just shows, at least to me it shows, how good this movie is, because I'm able to ramble about this movie and how much I am gushing over this movie and how much I like this movie. And I'm not telling you anything about what happened in the movie outside what we know already in the trailers. So, there and there, I guess. But yes, with that being said, overall, 8.5 out of 10. Gonna be a must-buy when it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray. And it is a must-watch if you are a horror fan, or if you want to dip your toes into the horror side of things on the cinema. It doesn't go too crazy with gore or anything like that. Remember, keyword, it doesn't go too crazy. It gets there if you do watch it. So if you are a little, that way, squeamish, proceed with caution, just a little bit, just a little caution, not a whole lot of caution, just a little bit. But 8.5 out of 10. Gonna get the DVD or Blu-ray. Highly recommend, highly recommend that you go out and watch Obsession if you haven't already seen it, or if you even have already seen it. Go give it a second watch, because it's that good. I've been Joey Knight Jr. This has been JKJ Culture, and this has been an Out of Movie Theater review, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.